All right, we're back at the Indo Expo Show 2019, and with me is one of the true pioneers of activism and being in the industry for the hemp industry here in the United States. This is Summer. Her and her mother founded Envirotextiles how many years ago?
We're turning 17 next month.
17 years ago.
Yes.
And you guys supply hemp fabric for the entire country.
We do.
Yeah.
This is our 17th year for Envirotextiles here in Colorado. Although it's Mom's 7th hemp company in 35 years,
Wow.
so we've been doing it nearly all my life. And this is kind of where it all started in Colorado. Colorado was the first state to have any type of cannabis initiative brought to the table after the prohibition, and it was all focused on hemp back in the day in the early 90s. And cannabis as a whole kind of came together and pushed the envelope on different levels.
Yeah.
And of course, hemp had to be brought with it. We always kind of thought that we would lead the way.
Isn't
for
that
the other
crazy?
side.
It's kind of this weird opposite thing.
Yeah, it's really interesting, that there's been times in this last handful of years where we're going, wait for the hemp too, wait for us, don't forget about us. And it's really interesting how so many people thought that because they could buy their hemp shampoos and their hemp lip balms and clothes in the stores, that they thought that just automatically meant that hemp was always legal and you could grow it, and it was just the other cannabis side of things that you couldn't. And I think as people kind of got the information and woke up to, what do you mean I can buy all these great products and we're still not able to grow and produce it in this country?
It's like you literally, there's like such
wild.
an absence of common sense when you think about that.
It's wild.
Like I can buy the product, but it has to be made somewhere else. So
Yes.
somebody else gets to benefit from making this and having
Yes.
the money to do that. But you guys, like you said, you were pioneers in this. You've seen where the industry has kind of come just in the size of how this event has changed.
Amazing.
This event used to be in a segment of Indo Expo Show in a little dark hallway.
Yes.
And then
we had a little
we have to give
corner.
you guys a whole big space now.
Yes.
But can you talk a little bit more about what you guys are up to? You're always at the forefront of where this industry is going. You were 7 years ahead of everybody else, basically, before anybody even thought to have a company in the industry. What are you guys doing now?
So we, of course, have always kind of had our foundation of doing our fabrics and, of course, trying to bring the next wave and niche for the marketplace when it comes to fabrics. So for us with designers, whether it be for apparel, home furnishing, accessories, so many endless products these days, we want to make sure not only we have a hemp fabric for them, but we have multiple options for them. So every designer is going to absolutely fall in love with hemp and have no reason to not use hemp in their products. So of course, pushing the envelope with different developments. We're super excited to be launching some new stretch hemp fabrics. That's a bit more unique because with natural fibers, you can achieve a stretch without bringing in a little synthetic.
Like spandex or something
right.
like that.
So how do you do that in the most environmental and economical way? And how can we kind of create new yarn techniques so that we can keep it as little amount as possible in that synthetic. So we've got this awesome new line of stretch knits that are 5% spandex or less. So you're still a 95% completely natural, biodegradable product. So that really helps kind of push the envelope. So many designers are going, we need stretchy, soft, and yet want to make sure it's still natural and the best process that you can make a natural fiber. Right now it's really exciting because we are processing hemp here in Colorado. We are starting to see the fiber market right in front of our eyes, which, it's going to take a lot of work. There's a lot of infrastructure needed. And so we're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel now. The fiber's piling up, and, it's still going to be some time. Could even be a couple years out before there's enough fiber to get serious about the next stage of taking that to a fabric.
Do you think that CBD is slowing down that production out of curiosity?
Yes and no.
And I'm not knocking CBD.
No, absolutely not.
But it's only
we love
one
it
usage.
all.
Yes, we love it all, but
Yes.
it's one usage that's kind of taken the
Yeah.
spotlight.
Yeah, and of course it's understandable for the
course.
farmers. So many people are so excited to get involved in hemp and help bring it to the forefront. And obviously we have to be growing it and producing it and showing all that it can do to really gain the interest of those that aren't aware yet, you
Yes.
know, and really show them what's possible for our country. So when the farmers are looking at hemp, and there was nothing you could do with it 6 years ago in this country. Obviously, they had to go, well, what can we implement quickly and
Right.
have a really good value for it and really tackle this new marketplace and gain interest on a level that's going to naturally trickle all of these other beneficial areas and marketplaces where, you know, with hemp, when it's done right, it is a magic plant product in every which way and use you put it in. So, you know, when we're looking at the CBD industry, though, and just the last 3 years, and you watch the value plummet and the market get flooded, and you're looking at the farmers and concerned with, you know, what direction are we going to go in and how do we bring the value for our farmers? And for us, we don't know about CBD. Our specialty's always been industrial crops like a fiber or a dual purpose, and most of the U.S. trials that we're doing are actually working with seed and grain crops because we know